Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, as you can see, special edition of TSS, we're walking the mean streets of Dania, Florida. You guys see them palm trees in the background. Y'all wish y'all was in South Florida, but anyway, I got a problem with the boxing world. I got a massive problem with the boxing world because I just feel like the great Manny Pacquiao has been ducked, he's been disrespected, and he's been avoided. And he's just been discredited by a lot of boxing media and fans and the boxing world at large. And I wanted to speak out about it because recently I saw an interview with Keith Thurman where he was basically saying, in response to Errol Spence, Shawn, Danny Garcia, all these guys wanted to fight him, that he's got to be patient. He's got to wait because in his era of fighters, he doesn't have a Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao. Now, I found that interesting for the simple fact that Manny Pacquiao is still fighting. That Manny Pacquiao is, if you know anything about boxing, one of the top 4 to 5 best welterweights still in the world, even at his advanced age, still one of the top 5 best welterweights in the world. So with that being said and that being established here on True School Sports by your boy BT, I just feel like the narrative is so ridiculous when it comes to Manny Pacquiao because the simple fact of the matter is, here we have a guy in Pacquiao who's done so many unprecedented things. We're talking about lineal champion in multiple weight classes, a world title holder in 8 weight classes, the only one to do that ever. Been beating the likes of just so many Hall of Fame fighters, Morales, Pereira, Marquez, Cotto, the list goes on and on. And ever since he lost that fight to Floyd, where, I'll be quite honest, neither one of them was really that great to me that night. I thought it could have been a draw. I even thought Manny could have won because, Floyd didn't really look that strong. A lot of punches that he was throwing was landing on the gloves. I don't think he really dictated that fight. What's funny is Manny actually showed that he could fight a different style that fight. He became less of a volume puncher, and he had success against Floyd, which is why Floyd was so reluctant to engage. See what I'm saying? But that's another story for another day. My thing is, you always hear like these guys you got Keith Thurman, you got Danny Garcia, you got Shawn, you got Errol Spence. All these guys trying to fight Thurman, right? Because he's got 2 titles. But my thing is, there is this thing called the law of averages. There's only one Keith Thurman, and when he decides to fight a big fight again, the fact of the matter is, no matter who he picks, one of those guys is going to be disappointed. So my thing is, why isn't Shawn Porter? Why isn't Danny Garcia? Why isn't Errol Spence? Any one of those guys? Why aren't those guys trying to attach their name to Manny Pacquiao? Why aren't they trying to get a fight Manny Pacquiao? Big global superstar, mass appeal. That's a fight that if I was a boxer, if I was a welterweight fighter, I would be looking for it. But I don't really see reluctance to do that. And really, I don't want to say that a guy like Errol Spence ducking Manny Pacquiao because I don't think Errol Spence ducking Manny Pacquiao. I just think he's focusing the guys that are calling him out or that aren't calling him out, and he wants those guys. But I look at a guy like Shawn Porter, right? A guy who has options. A guy who, he's not going to fight Keith Thurman next. He's not going to fight Errol Spence next. He's on the record saying that as well. So he may only fight Danny Garcia. But if he doesn't fight Danny Garcia, why is he trying to fight Manny Pacquiao? Why did Danny Garcia turn off Manny Pacquiao last year? I just don't understand why it's these guys ducking Pacquiao. It's these guys who haven't quite challenged themselves like Pacquiao's been doing, even based on the last 3 fights. You look at Bradley, look at Vargas, look at Jeff Horn. You put those 3 fights against any one of what Porter, Thurman, or Garcia have done at welterweight, and even at his advanced age, his opposition is blowing these guys out of the water. See what I'm saying? Like Keith Thurman could have fought Jessie Vargas. They had a tentative date sketch for April. It was all but signed, sealed, and delivered, and he's reluctant to fight Jessie Vargas because he says, quote unquote, it does nothing for him, but he wants to tune-up fight. So it's these guys that are ducking other fighters. It's these guys who aren't challenging themselves. But Manny Pacquiao at his advanced age, he's trying to fight the best. He tried to fight Crawford. Crawford didn't want to come to 147. He tried to fight... Oh, man. He tried to fight Crawford. He tried to fight Lomachenko, pound number 1 fighter in the world. Lomachenko's manager didn't want it. Crawford didn't want to go to 147 at the time. So my thing is how is it that this guy consistently challenges himself to be the best, to fight the best fighters, even following the Floyd loss? Because Floyd, all he wants to do is fight kickboxers and MMA fighters and beer drinkers, but Manny Pacquiao here trying to fight the best fighters he could find, and y'all want to criticize him for it. Y'all have the audacity to disrespect him. You know, oh, he's fighting Mike Alvarado. Okay, he's allowed to fight Mike Alvarado. Look at his last 4 fights. He's allowed to get a tune-up. You know, it makes me ridiculous. It makes me sick how all of a sudden, you know, he fights one guy who's a C-class fighter for the first time since Brandon Rios, and y'all have the audacity to disrespect him after all the great fights he's given you, after everything he's done for boxing, building it up, helping globalize it. And I just don't get it. I don't really quite understand it, and I really wish you boxing fans were smart enough to realize that not only is this man at his advanced age still one of the best welterweights in the world, that a lot of these guys don't want to fight him, and that's why you don't hear them calling his name out. You know, a lot of these guys don't have big fight experience. They don't want big fight experience, and they can't handle, even at his advanced age, they couldn't handle the lateral movement of Pacquiao, the left hand of Pacquiao. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. These guys don't want no smoke with Manny Pacquiao. A lot of these guys don't. And the guys that I know for a fact don't want anything to do with Manny Pacquiao. Even though there's politics, I understand that. But, you know, Danny Garcia don't want no smoke with Manny Pacquiao. He turned down an offer. We already know Shawn Porter don't want no smoke with Manny Pacquiao because Manny used to put it on him in sparring. And then Terrence Crawford don't want no smoke with Manny Pacquiao either. I'm sorry, he don't. You know he don't. If you wanted to, you know, the way you see how quick he went to fight. You see how quick he went to 147 to fight Jeff Horn. Like, yeah, he was undisputed, but he could have made a title defense. You know, maybe legitimize that undisputed claim even more. But no, the minute he became undisputed, he jumped up to 147. He's fighting Jeff Horn. When there was an offer a couple years ago for his ass to come up to 147, nah, he was like, oh, come down to 140. So I'm just saying, man, like, don't you ever in your life participate in Manny Pacquiao as a top welterweight until he gives you a reason to, because quite frankly, the only top welterweight that's gotten in there with him and he legitimized himself as a top welterweight of recent note is Jeff Horn. Regardless of how you see that fight, Jeff Horn still went in there. He put up a number of quality rounds, and he took the fight with Manny Pacquiao, so you got to give him some credit. And guess what? Jeff Horn's taking the fight with Terrence Crawford, and for no reason other than the fact that I'm sick of the disrespect for Manny Pacquiao since the Jeff Horn fight. I hope Jeff Horn beats the shit out of Terrence Crawford. I'm not gonna lie, I hope he does. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm still favoring Terrence to win, but don't you guys come around? Don't you guys turn on TV that night and think that Jeff Horn is sweet? Because Jeff Horn is gonna give Terrence Crawford some problems. I don't think he's gonna win, but you guys are gonna have a newfound respect for Pacquiao after that fight. And quite frankly, you know, this is my message to the boxing world, and we're just gonna leave it at this. Manny Pacquiao is an elite welterweight. Manny Pacquiao is a top 5 welterweight. And if you disagree with that, you don't know shit about boxing.